Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabanso, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And we got some kind of crazy show for y'all here today that you guys definitely don't want to miss out on. And this one right here going to cause some serious drama. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into today's topic. Scottie Pippen is shaking up the internet again. Okay. He is shaking up the internet again with the things that he's talking about on this new Patrick David interview podcast. We actually started reacting to it last night. We did a live reacting to some of the things that he said about the whole Michael Jordan versus LeBron James GOAT debate. He said that there is no debate. He said there is no debate. We covered that extensively. We did like an hour live. There were a lot of people in there. Shout out to everybody that was a part of the live, that was a part of that there. But it was a long interview. And prior to us even going live, I already had a bunch of things that I wanted to talk about, and this was one of them. Now, as you guys know, Charles Barkley is probably the best in the business when it comes to sports media. When we're talking about basketball, he's the top of the game, right? But before that, obviously, he was an NBA player, top 75 guy, a hell of a player who played with the Philadelphia 76ers, the Phoenix Suns. But towards the tail end of his career, he ended up playing with who? The Houston Rockets, with Hakeem Olajuwon and one Scottie Pippen, right? And that was supposed to be a super team, but it never really worked out. Players got injured, they got old, and things didn't work out at the end. I think from there, Scottie Pippen went to Portland, or did he go to Portland before that? I don't know, but I think he went to Portland next. I could be wrong. Anyway, so they didn't end up winning a championship. But after that, there were always these murmurs about the relationship between Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley, where Scottie Pippen was never really fond of Charles Barkley, and he believed that he was lazy. But these are things that I heard just as being an NBA fan. I heard one time that kind of thing, but I never really heard Scottie Pippen himself address it, and I never heard Charles Barkley address it up until now. So during the interview, I don't remember how they got about talking about Charles Barkley, but the part came up, and Scottie Pippen did not hold back, and he let his feelings be 100% known about why he felt like Charles Barkley was lazy. So what we want to do is want to play exactly what Scottie Pippen had to say about his time playing with Charles Barkley as a teammate, and I want to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to him here.
You said one time when you had a conversation with Michael about when he went to the Rockets and Barkley was a teammate, and he said something to you. He says, I probably should have listened to Michael a year ago when he said that Charles will never win a championship because he doesn't show any dedication. He's a very selfish guy. He said all this stuff to you, right? That's my reason for wanting to get away from playing with him, because he just doesn't show the dedication. You know, those are tough words to be said from Michael to a friend that is Charles. Looking back now and having the wisdom that you have today, you had a lot of, everybody wanted you. You could have gone anywhere. Anybody and everybody wanted you. What would have been a different situation? What do you look at where you said,
well, I'm going to be honest that my options weren't that great.
Really?
Because of the way that the CBA was set up.
Got it.
And
who did you have as options?
Well, I had Phoenix, but it was for less money.
Got it.
I think Philadelphia. Didn't want to go play in a cold climate.
Who did Philly have at that time? Was it AI? Was it still AI? Or was it? Yeah, it was AI.
Yeah,
because it was tail end, so it would have been AI.
Yeah,
they had. Well, he didn't have. He had the Dikembe Mutombo, I think. I don't know if he had a left out ready.
I showed no interest. It was. I definitely wanted to be in a warm climate, and I saw Houston as an opportunity for me really to play with two veteran guys, and that we could, make something happen real quick. And it was the lockout season, but it was definitely a short-lived. In fact, Charles started out working out with me, and he was all dedicated and working out, me and him with Grover. I took Grover down there, and he lasted about a month.
Was it because what? It's just a little too much with Grover?
No, it wasn't too much for Grover. It was too much for him.
No, that's what I'm saying. To go with Grover, it's a little too much for Charles.
He wanted to enjoy his nightlife, and our workouts were predicated on getting up in the morning and training before practice.
So you heard what Scottie Pippen had to say. right? That it was just difficult for them because Charles wasn't willing to commit 100%. He said some of the workouts that they were doing in the morning with Tim Grover required them to be there early in the morning, and that would affect Charles Barkley's nightlife, and therefore he didn't want to be a part of that. Then Patrick Bet-David kind of weighed in on why that would be difficult. When a guy's making that much money, he still wants to be able to do what he has to do, which brings us to an interesting part of this entire conversation, which is, you know, it really comes down to the individual, where they are, what they want in a team situation. People keep forgetting that, yes, people are teams, but it's not one person. It's a bunch of different people with different motivations, different ways of being, different things about them, different goals, different backgrounds that are all meant to come together to achieve one particular goal. And if people are on different pages in their personal lives, maybe people want to live a different life than the other guy, then things are going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a little bit difficult, to really go after a particular goal. So for a guy like Charles Barkley that maybe wanted to enjoy his evenings, go out, he may have thought that was important to him and he wanted to do that. Where a guy like Scotty is looking at him like, yo, bro, you don't want to commit as much. Whereas a guy like Charles may be looking at Scotty like, bro, you got to let your hair down and live a little. So you have a philosophical clash that's taking place there. And it happens all the time. Now, what's interesting is that Scotty seemed to be a little bit more regimented, like Kobe, like he was with Jordan. And one can make an argument that rubbed off on Jordan. On Scotty, because before Scotty got to the Bulls, he didn't just come into the NBA as an all-star. He had to develop into an all-star. And some people like Skip Bayless and others have made an argument that Scotty being around Michael Jordan really helped elevate his game and his attitude and his work ethic to an entirely different place. And that's understandable, because when you get around greatness, chances are some of it is going to rub off on you, because why? Success leaves clues at the end of the day. So there may have been some of that work in there as well, right? But it's not easy. It's not easy. Some people are more committed to the particular things than others, and it's not. It doesn't make them a bad person. Oh, I'm not committed. Because it just means that people have other interests as well. Right now, some people say, "Hey, look, you're an NBA player. You're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. What do you mean you have a set of interests? You should be dedicated to this 100% of the time." And what you'll find is that you'll find other NBA players that will argue against that. All right. And then you find other NBA players that find a way to have their look. A person that was extremely dedicated to the game was Kobe Bryant. And Kobe, I read in one of his books where he said, look, I wasn't going to sacrifice my time with my family. I wasn't going to compromise my workouts. So instead, I gave up my sleep. And Kobe just said, I'll sleep less. So therefore, I'll be able to dedicate time with my family. If we're going on vacation, I'm going to be there for them and be present. And then when it comes to my workouts, I'm going to work out, but I'm just going to sleep less. That was Kobe's way of kind of balancing his life. But Kobe seemed to be like my family, or Kobe didn't really go out and all that other stuff. I don't know him, but that's what I heard. So it really comes down to how you build your life. But I think what you saw there was just a philosophical clash, because the fact of the matter is both of those guys were good enough to make it into the top 75. So they were doing something pretty good. These are my thoughts. Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.